Hello everybody, and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we'll be talking, of course, about the amazing and the wonderful Gina Carano. This is something that we talked about on last night's Friday Night Tights stream, but before we dive into this story, and also, I've got some awesome movies that have been sent to me by a few subscribers, so I'm going to shout them out at the end of the video. I want to remind everyone that tonight's live stream is canceled. I have family in town, and so I was able to get away just for a little bit to be able to make this video, and then we will not have a live stream tonight, which is why I'm going to shout out the people who have sent me things over the last several weeks. I was finally able to go to the P.O. box, but before even getting into the main story once again, please be sure to smash the like button, but also follow me over on Odyssey or over on Minds.com. Odyssey is going to be the major video platform that I plan to be using from this point going forward. It is a really cool platform. There's a lot of really awesome things going on with it. And overall, I've been very, very much thoroughly enjoying it. There's an app now available on iOS. They're starting to add new features to it and fix some of the bugs that have been going on, so it's very exciting stuff. They actually have the Library app also over on Android, which I think is a much better app overall. I've been listening to a lot of Tim Pool on my Android device, and so that's been a lot of fun. But please, think about following me over there and supporting, because you get free cryptocurrency essentially whenever you interact with different videos and everything like that. So go ahead and donate to your favorite content creators, and if I happen to be one of them, I would appreciate it. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into this Gina Carano story, because for those that have been living under a rock, Gina Carano was canceled. She was canceled by a bunch of crazy people on Twitter over something that was a non-issue, over something that was complete fabrication. The mindset and the lie was that she had shared an opinion that was not correct. She shared an opinion that was somehow offensive to people of Jewish background, and therefore she had to be canceled. None of which is true. In fact, she shared an image that wasn't even directly from her, and it was relating back to World War II, but the mindset is indeed something that's actually factually correct, which is there was a time when they were able to, in that time in Germany, be able to get neighbors to hate neighbors, neighbors to turn on neighbors, and able to make boogeymen out of the Jewish people, essentially. And what we see going on in our modern day world with people who don't wear masks, with people who don't like these lockdowns, right? What's happening to them? That's right. They are also being demonized in the same way. What's interesting is that everyone took this as, oh, she's saying that Republicans are the same, even though nowhere in her post does she ever mention anything about political party. Instead, what she is doing is she's saying, hey, I'm looking around, seeing all of the madness, all of the insanity, and I just can't stand for it. I cannot stand for it anymore. I'm going to speak out about it. And guess what? She consistently did. And of course, they were just waiting for any little thing in order to cancel her, and they did. But here's the thing about Gina Carano. She's a fighter. She is a fighter, and you cannot hold her down. And so therefore, what happens the next day? She announces, and the Daily Wire announces, that they are going to be working in partnership with each other to fulfill, as she says, a dream of hers, which was to create, produce, and direct her own movie. Well, I don't know about direct, but at least to produce and create her own movie. So it's very, very exciting to see her kind of going into this mindset and trying to essentially say, yeah, screw you, cancel culture. And some of the words that she has to say in these releases, I think, are so critical and so crucial to the modern day 2021 world, because it is an important message to anyone that's either been threatened to be canceled or has been canceled that, hey, they don't hold power over us if we do not allow them to. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into this article. This is from the Daily Wire. Thought it'd be appropriate, seeing that she is now working with them. And it says, media is shocked that Gina Carano fought back as her movie deal with Daily Wire goes viral. Yes, indeed. It has gone viral, and it has been freaking fantastic. And the media doesn't know what to do with themselves, because normally what happens is when someone's canceled, they're done. No one wants to work with them anymore, and they are just done. They fade away from existence. Not Gina Carano. Instead, she said, oh, you want to cancel me? Okay, I'm going to one-up you, make myself even bigger, and then you can honestly never even consider tearing me down. And hey, can't stop the signal, as someone famous once said in a film. 2 days after Gina Carano was reportedly axed by Disney, quote, in what critics alleged was a politically motivated hit, end quote, the Daily Wire announced that they will be partnering with the former Mandalorian actress, who will produce and star in an upcoming film exclusively for Daily Wire members. Now, for a point of full disclosure, I am a Daily Wire member myself. I've just always appreciated the things that they've done, and I also wanted to support them specifically when their movie Run, Hide, Fight came out, and so I got a membership to be able to watch watch that movie, but also to support them in these efforts. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. On Friday, the Daily Wire announced that it would be partnering with Carano to produce an upcoming film exclusively for Daily Wire members. The Daily Wire is helping make one of my dreams to develop and produce my own film come true. I cried out and my prayer was answered, Carano said in a statement. And again, I just think that that is so awesome. The fact that, again, talking about crying out, wanting to do something her entire life, and now finally being able to not just have the platform to do it, but also to have essentially the notoriety to be able to pull it off, and probably pull it off pretty successfully, because one, in consequence of trying to cancel someone that can't be canceled, we see this happen with things like Chick-fil-A, right? Remember when Chick-fil-A was going to get canceled because of one of the leaders' stances on gay marriage? Well, guess what happened? People flocked to those stores, flocked to Chick-fil-A's all across the country, and they had long lines. And so that's what happens when canceling goes wrong, when canceling backfires. And that's exactly what's happening here. There's reports now that all of the figures that are actually available of Gina Carano's character from The Mandalorian are selling out, are being sold for crazy amounts of money on eBay, are selling like hotcakes, and obviously they're coming out now to say Hasbro has announced that they will not be producing the upcoming action figure that they had, announced beforehand, but it doesn't matter because, as I said, she is essentially beyond cancellation at this point. What also is pretty fantastic is that the Daily Wire is offering a 25% discount if you use the code GINA, which again, I think is fantastic. It says here, quote, I am sending out a direct message of hope to everyone living in fear of cancellation by the totalitarian mob. I have only just begun using my voice, which is now freer than ever before, and I hope it inspires others to do the same. They can't cancel us if we do not let them. That's all I have to say to that statement. I mean, again, it's so great to see a woman and just a person in general from Hollywood who was in literally the biggest show on, not even on television, but the biggest show in the world, right, with some of the biggest, support around with The Mandalorian, right, had a huge second season, had a lot of fans literally who were kind of on the fence with Star Wars saying, hey, The Mandalorian seems to be moving in a direction that I like. Guess what? All of that good faith, all of that goodwill, right out the window. You honestly think that some of the people that have been showing support towards The Mandalorian are going to continue after this nonsense? Hell no. Instead, we'll say, hey, why not just cancel your Disney Plus subscription and go over to the Daily Wire if you want to have access to this? Now, I would say hold off for a little bit, only because, obviously, if you are not a conservative or want access to just news for now, I don't think it's really that great of an investment at this point in time. And again, do what you want with your own money. But I think that especially since they've released one movie, this film probably will get released in the next year or two, and they, I think, are working on other shows and other movies and other things like that. I think that as it grows as a brand, it will get even bigger. So I would say it's worth your investment if you want to invest in a new media company. But again, that's totally up to you. But as far as the content available right now, there's just one movie in Run, Hide, Fight, which is fine. I gave it a C-, right? It's not the best film in the world. I personally don't think it's complete trash. I know there are others who are friends of the channel who do, and I respect that opinion because I think there are a lot of issues with it. But I do think that as far as like this first attempt for them, being behind at least the distribution of this specific film, I think is something that is really interesting to see. But as you can see, things are crazy in this world. And of course, this comes from Routers. It says, ex-Mandalorian actress to make a film with conservative outlet. Oh no, the conservative outlet. It says here, Gina Carano was dropped from Star Wars over what the studio called abhorrent and unacceptable social media post, and said on Friday that she's making a film. And notice how they have to point out it's a conservative media company. What's interesting to me, and this is something that no one's talking about when it comes to Gina Carano, she's never come out to say that she's a conservative. She's never come out to say that she's a liberal or libertarian or anything. She's always just been herself, right? She's always just been herself beyond labels. And what's interesting to me is, going back to the previous article, how she says, my voice is now freer than ever before, is I can't wait to hear what else she has to say, because Lord knows she was probably holding back a lot of things because she recognized that she worked for a major company, that company had incredible, insane leftist bias, and that they would be willing to cancel anyone at a moment's notice. Remember that they also canceled James Gunn not that long ago. Now, I was very critical of James Gunn because I thought his comments, even though they were called quote-unquote jokes, were disgusting and despicable, but guess what? They let him back in because he has right think. Gina Carano, again, didn't do anything nearly as bad, not even close to as bad as what James Gunn did, will never be invited back, and guess what? I don't think at this point she wants to. I will say this much, though. At the end of the day, she is an actress, she is a professional, and Lord knows that this had to have hurt. Because imagine that you've been working for, months and months, years at this point, with various directors and other actors, And from what we could tell, she was enjoying it, right? If you look at any of the behind-the-scenes stuff, if you look to her interactions with people like Carl Weathers, when his episode came out, she loves the people that she worked with. And so basically being told, yep, sorry, you can't hang out with these people anymore. And now she's also seeing who her real friends are, because she's seeing who was just putting on a face, who cares more about their careers than they do about their friendships. She's seeing that now by who is either not standing up for her or actually downright condemning her or throwing shade at her. She now knows that. So I can only imagine that this is going to have a very negative impact on her from that perspective. So I'm just very thrilled just for the very prospect that she was not allowing them to keep her down, right? It took less than a day for her to say, okay, you're going to take this away from me. You're going to take my friends away. You're going to take away these awesome experiences. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move forward and create new experiences in the process as well. But all they can do, the thing that they are obsessed with, is trying to paint her as some crazy conservative Republican, which again, none of those things are true. The comment and the post that she originally made, as I talked about on my other video, is not even bad. Right? She's pointing out a factual statement that things that happened in the past repeat themselves. That when you are going to demonize people because they happen to have a different religious or political view than you, what you are doing is very similar to what was done back during that time. And I don't see how that's that controversial, especially when you have other people, Pedro Pascal, who literally equated people, voters of a certain candidate, to Nazis. I just gotta throw it out there. And again, YouTube's gonna probably try and demonetize it, but I don't care, because that's why I'm uploading now over on Odyssey, and I'm pushing people that direction, because I know a lot of people are sick of censorship, are sick and tired of free speech being quelled. And so that's why I'm going to promote those alt-tech platforms. That's why my major social media account that I love to use is Minds.com. That's why I love using Odyssey now. I'm like, again, it's just freaking awesome. But I'm so thrilled that Gina Carano was able to take the narrative, and instead of allowing the media to run with it, instead of them being able to run for days on end, all right, Gina Carano, a conservative, question mark, was she a Trump voter, etc. Now the narrative is, oh, she's not canceled. Oh, she was working for another organization. You literally had an article from The Independent say, she's just proven that cancel culture is not true. Yeah, again, we got brilliant people working here in Hollywood and all of these other places. As it says, and I'm sure this is going to not say it correctly, it says Walt Disney Company's Lucasfilm Studio said on Wednesday it would no longer work with her after she posted on Instagram drawing parallels between the persecution of Jews in Nazi Germany to the treatment of people who hold conservative political views today. That is factually inaccurate. That is a false statement. That is a lie. Gina Carano, I think, has grounds to sue this organization and any other news media organizations. If you actually look to the post, and again, in my last video, I talked about it. At no point does it talk about conservatives. It just talked about how if we're going to demonize people for a different perspective, for a different view, then that is very similar. And again, if you cannot see that, then you are blind. If you cannot see that, then you have been brainwashed and you need to get yourself out of this. Seriously, wake up, join the light, join the fun side, as is often said. Because Gina Carano right now is probably having a pretty good time, right? A lot of people are now following her more than ever before. A lot of people are sending her love and respect because guess what? She has earned it at this point in time. And again, shout out to Gina Carano for being just an amazing human being who's been willing to talk to the plebs, who's been willing to talk to the regular everyday people, right? She did this great interview series with our friend of the channel, Jay from Drunk 3PO, right? He is awesome. Check out those videos. Look up Drunk 3PO, Gina Carano interview. They're fantastic because she showed herself to be a normal person who just cares about positivity. Every time that she says anything, it's always trying to be uplifting, right? Saying, hey, don't be afraid of being canceled. Hey, don't be afraid of this or that. She's always been about that, right? She's always pushed for organizations trying to help people. And yet she's going to be canceled because she had quote unquote wrong think. And the only wrong thing she did, let's just be honest here, was that she did not embrace wokeism. She did not embrace the far left. That's her only crime. It's not even that she's an avowed conservative. She's never even come out to express those kinds of political beliefs. All she has done is reject the cancel culture, reject the leftist narrative, and reject the identity politics-driven narrative. So she's a normal person is essentially what's going on here. And she, of course, has been canceled. I will also say, if you do sign up for things like the Daily Wire, they do sometimes offer exclusive posts as well. And there's a really interesting one that breaks down her entire career. So it mentions just different films that she's been in before. And there are a couple that I've seen, and there's a couple that I know that I want to see. But one that I do want to note out because I actually have seen it and not given my full review of before is this film called In the Blood. And so this was a film, as it says here, Carano's next step founder playing Ava, a newlywed whose new beau suffered a serious accident. So basically what happens is it's actually they are I forget what it's called, but anyway, they are doing something where the guy essentially falls from the sky. I mean, it's when you hook onto something and zip lining. They were zip lining, and basically the zip line breaks, and so the guy falls, and we think that he's dead, but turns out he's alive. And so the story is definitely a little bit cheesy and just kind of out there, but she's great in it. I mean, to me, the fact that back in 2014, she was in this very obscure film with an obscure script, but again showed that she does have acting talent, right? I'm not going to be lying. I'm not going to say that she is the best actor that I've ever seen in my entire life, but she's solid, right? She's a solid actor. She's able to convey emotion, and if you can just do those basic things, then I think you're worthy of respect, because not everyone can do that. And so, yeah, I just wanted to shout this out. And again, there's a whole list of films on this exclusive article, so I don't want to show any much more than that, because obviously I don't want to get in trouble with the Daily Wire. Though something tells me that they are going to be less likely to go after people like me than maybe a left-wing outlet that had some behind the curtains type of thing. But anyway, what are your thoughts about this overall story? Please just let me know in the comment section below. I just think it's so important for us to support people like Gina Carano for standing up to things like cancel culture. So that is the end of the regular video, but I do want to take this time to shout out some people real quick. So first off, huge shout out to Rosie G12. She's a member on the channel and is always very active during the live streams. She sent me 2 films, and so the first one is a John Carpenter classic, Big Trouble in Little China. I've never actually seen this movie before, so I'm very, very excited to finally watch it. So thank you for sending me the Blu-ray copy of that. Also, another film I have never seen before is the film called The Untouchables, Les Incorruptibles. So it looks like this is actually a French and English release, which is, again, I always find that pretty cool. So The Untouchables, another movie that I have never seen before in my life. So very excited. 1987 movie here. And it looks like I know some people. Kevin Costner's in this film. Andy Garcia, Robert De Niro, Sean Connery as well. That's pretty cool. Cool. So I'm definitely excited to see this film. So thank you for sending me those 2 movies. You're fantastic. Next, I need to shout out and first off say thank you for the $100 super chat from Bruce, sending me $100 super chat. I really very greatly appreciate this. Thank you so much, man. Bruce has always been a friend of the channel. He sent me countless films, and he made no exception this time. He sent me 2 boxes of movies that either he's upgraded over time or is willing to part with. And so these will be films that either I keep in my collection or that I will offer up as giveaways, because some of these films I have, other films I have in other formats, and so I may not need it. But he sent me 1917, fantastic movie. If you've not seen it before, hey, stay tuned to the channel, because I'll be giving that away, because I already have the 4K copy of that. The Phantom, classic film. This is from my childhood. I love this movie. I have the ring still, the old skull ring, because there was a time back, I think it was McDonald's or Burger King, they were giving a ring out every time that you went to the, got a Happy Meal or something. Actually, no, to be honest, I think the metal ring was actually given out at the theater. If you got a ticket, you actually got a free, it was like one of those, collector's items things. And so I have like 2 of those rings somewhere. But anyway, so this is fantastic. I do own this already, so I'll be giving that one away as well. And I got tons of others. Another film called The Day the Earth Caught Fire on Blu-ray. I've actually never seen this movie before. I don't even know if I've heard of this film before. So again, excited to check that film out. This is a movie. I was surprised to see it. Sometimes there's movies in here where I'm like, really, Bruce? What's going on? This was The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. I saw the trailer for this. It looked terrible. Never had any intention on seeing it. Now that I have it, though, I might as well, upload it to my Plex server and give it a shot. This is a movie that I've actually wanted to buy because I actually found it quite entertaining. This is definitely a film that I would like to keep for when, when baby Thor grows up a little bit. I think that he would actually find it, very entertaining. And there's a lot of humor in here that I think adults will appreciate. I know Josiah Rises. Shout out to Josiah Rises. I know that he has very similar views on this film. That's Dora and the Lost City of Gold, the live-action Dora the Explorer film. It's actually not terrible. And I know it's surprising to hear that, but it's actually quite entertaining, especially for an adult audience, I would say. Also, I got Sonic the Hedgehog on Blu-ray, so I got this on 4K already, so I'll be able to give this away. Also, what's cool about this for collectors, slipcover action, and a lot of these films do have their slipcovers. Speaking of which, Rambo Last Blood. So I actually have the 4K collection that was sent to me, so I actually have that already, but still, hey, Rambo Last Blood, I'll be able to give that away. I haven't seen that yet. Also, Speed. So I actually just picked up the combo pack of Speed 1 and Speed 2, so I'll be able to give this one away as well on Blu-ray. So fantastic movie. I still need to do a review for Speed. I think, I can't remember at this point. My days are just all over the place. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I liked it a lot. All right. I got some more movies here. So also another movie on Blu-ray that I already have, Midway, with a slipcover on it. So I'll be giving this one away as well. Not a huge fan of this film. The CGI was just I couldn't take the CGI. And the lead guy, let's see, it was Ed Skrein, I think is the guy's name. Just not a leading man. Not leading man material, and so I wasn't a big fan. Speaking of nightmare fuel, we have Cats. I'm actually very excited to have this because I've been waiting on this film to be available for like $5 so that I could finally have it just to own it, just for the sake of saying, yeah, I own Cats. And now I have it with a slipcover. Oh my gosh. This is fantastic. I'm actually very excited to have that because, it's so bad. But it's so bad it's good. In this, oh man, I showed my wife the beginning of it the other day, and she was like, oh my goodness, this is fantastic in a terrible way. What is a fantastic movie, though, all around is Bad Times at the El Royale. This was my favorite movie of, 2018 that this film came out, I believe. If so, was a huge fan of this film when it came out. I own this film on 4K, so I'll be definitely giving this movie away. This is, I think, one of the best films made in the last 5 years, for sure. And probably the thing I'm most excited about, to be perfectly honest, out of this entire set, the Orville on season 1, season 2 of the Orville on, I believe these are Blu-rays. And so this is fantastic. I love this show so much. It's a show that I always planned on buying at some point. So the fact that now I have season 1, season 2 taken care of, boom, I'm going to upload these to my Plex server, and now I will never have to worry about using other services to watch this show ever again. Very excited. Hey, can't wait for season 3 to come out because it's a fantastic show. And then some DVDs in the collection that he sent me as well. First off is Farscape. I've never actually seen this film before, so going to see this on DVD. Looks like there's some pretty cool practical effects there. I think they're practical effects, at least from what I saw. He also sent me Sky Captain in the World Tomorrow on DVD, another film I've never seen before, heard pretty good things. So obviously he must have upgraded this to his Blu-ray, so since I have it, might as well upload it, even though DVD is subpar quality. But again, I always appreciate it, Bruce, for sending these. He also sent me Jules Verne's Master of the World on DVD. So again, film I haven't seen before either. And 1984. Actually never seen or read this. John Hurt, Richard Burton in it, so actually pretty exciting stuff, also available on DVD. So Bruce, thank you very much for sending me all of those films and for that $100 super chat. And lastly, shouting out, so I've shared pictures of these all on Twitter already, and I'll upload them to mine very soon too. But anyway, so ZK Man, who is a member, Chosen of Valhalla, also sent me some movies. Didn't know he was sending them, so actually very excited to see this. And so he sent me the DVD of Song of the South. Obviously, this is kind of one of those bootleg versions where someone prints out the cover and everything. I actually already have a edition of this because someone sent me a digital version of this already, but still glad to have like the actual like physical presence in this way. So yeah, Disney can't stop the signal because I have it. A film that I've heard of but never actually seen with Kim Basinger, Gabriel Byrne, and Brad Pitt, Cool World. Apparently, this is only available on DVD. They've never made a Blu-ray version of this, so I'm actually excited to check it out to see what this movie is all about because I've heard a lot of good things about it. And then we got a 4K edition. I'm actually very excited about this. Unopened 4K of the original Mulan. Again, when it comes to Disney films overall, I kind of want to try to avoid buying directly from Disney because Disney's terrible. Again, with everything going on with The Mandalorian and Gina Carano especially, seriously, screw Disney. And hey, how are the Uyghur Muslim populations doing in China? That's right. You helped and have aided and have given money to the Communist Party in China, and also even thanked a paramilitary group at the very end of the live-action version of Mulan who are directly related to those camps. Yeah. Good job, Disney. But anyway, this is a fantastic Disney movie, however, and so I'm glad to have this, not having to spend any money and giving it to Disney itself. So 4K, ooh, yeah, love that. Also, he gave me a Blu-ray edition of The Giver. I never actually saw this. I've read the book, liked the book. I heard it's not as good as the book, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Heard it wasn't terrible. And the last one he gave me, so in his letter, he did say that these are films that either he already had or that he didn't want, which I was like, okay, thank you for giving me the movies you don't want, but obviously I can use these for giveaways also on the channel, but this one, I don't know what to do with it. I'll have to find something special because it is that live-action Mulan. Again, with at the end credits, it thanking the paramilitary group in China. Yeah, those poor Uyghur Muslim populations over there. But anyway, interesting stuff right here. Deleted scenes. I wonder if there's certain scenes in there. I could make a joke, but I'm not going to because it's terrible. Being Bad. Oh, yeah. And they're talking about the actress there, huh? supporting the Hong Kong police, I guess, maybe. Interesting stuff. So ZK Man, thank you very much for sending me those. I really do appreciate it. All snark aside, again, I always appreciate people sending me stuff. And if you want to send me stuff and you want me to open it either during a live stream or maybe at the end of a video or something like that, please consider checking out the description of these videos, because I do have my PO box listed, as well as other locations where if you want to donate to the channel, there's cryptocurrency options now available as well. And yeah, again, all these things are available if you want them. But anyway, hope you guys are all fantastic. Thank you very much for your time and for your attention, for your love. And again, support me over on Odyssey and on Minds, and no live stream tonight. You're fantastic. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members: Albertus Magnus, Ali C83, Andrew Hoyle, Animation Commentator, Brian P, Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, The Honky Chonky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jay, Jeff Toon, Jonathan Carney, Laura Story, the Modern Major General, Mag Jackson, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, On to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Benden, Tina Bojan, and Tina B, the Empress of the Universe. Thank you so very much for being my Patreon members. And a huge shout out also to my Subscribe Star members: Stan 4, John B, Perpetual Punster, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, Darkstar 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., Dean Heiss / the new number 2, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nebanon G. Adams, and ZK Man. Thank you all very much for being my Subscribe Star members, and to all people who support the channel. It really does mean a lot. If you want to support the channel and have your name shouted out, please make sure that you join on Patreon or Subscribe Star today. If you sign up at the $5 or up level, you also get access to exclusive giveaways, including for 4K and Blu-ray titles. At the $10 level, you get all of that, plus you get access to an exclusive podcast that I do with John the Flick Pick Flickinger. There's actually currently an episode that I made public on the channel right now, so you can go ahead and check that out if you want to have more access to even more episodes and more content and the ability to ask us questions. Please feel free to check that out as well. And if you join at the $25 level and up, the Chosen of Valhalla level, you get to have all of those things, plus you get a free t-shirt that first month that you sign up for it, and every month you will be able to access the Chosen of Valhalla live stream, where me and my Chosen just talk for about 2, 3, sometimes even 4 hours about whatever it is that they want to talk about. So check all of that out in the links in the description below. You are all amazing and beautiful people, and we all have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.